Happy Friday! You know what day it is? You know what day? What day is it? What day? It's Kerbal. It's Kerbal. Yep, yep, it's Kerbal. It's Kerbal. It's Kerbal. Space program. Those of you who have been watching and paying attention, we collected science yesterday. We landed on the moon yesterday. And now, I think we're going to do a little bit of cleanup. Question is, how much cleanup should we do? A couple of things we need to do first, though. First, we need to have a place to store all this large quantity of fuel that we're going to be harvesting, because there's a lot of tanks up there that still have a lot of fuel left in them, and we can just quickly collect the fuel, draw it off, dump it, call it good. So that's what we're going to do. So I think we first we need to build a couple of tanks that we can put on the space station so we have a place to store all this stuff. Then we're going to build our a little, we'll call it the garbage truck, right? I guess we could call it a fuel collector. We'll call it a garbage truck. But it's going to go and start collecting all the goodness that one might need. Okay. So, all we need to do is get these tanks up towards the station. We've got our relocator up there that we can use to connect to them and put them where we need to. So we don't need to necessarily have a whole lot of specialized items here. So let's start by building our very basic general unit here. This is only a 2.5 if I recall correctly. Yes. Alright. We need a structure. There we go. And we need to go 2.5 to 5, I think. That's a lot bigger than I thought. Cryogenic fuel tank. I don't think we can change that to be what we need it to be. Ear itches. See, these are both the same tank, just different styles. Where is our coupler? So that tells me we don't need this at all. What we need is this guy. This guy here. This is what we need. But we need our decoupler. And there. That's what we need. Okay. What's our total tank size? Okay, we're gonna empty you. We're gonna empty you. And we're gonna put a nose cone on you because, you know, we like having a lot of debris floating around out there in space. Nice. Well, I'm glad it sent you a notification just minutes before I started. We want to set these tanks as big, delightful orange. Oh, we can't change these. Which ones can we change that are orange? Orange, you glad I didn't say apple? I see, that's only 6.064 tons as it sits. In fact, if we take this off, it's even lighter. So, and then if we take this off, it should be even lighter. I think we can get this up in the in orbit with old Frank. Come on, Frank. My gosh, that took a while. We're gonna bump that up to, and then we're gonna take, and we're gonna toss, and we're gonna put, and then we're gonna attach. There. And it's super tall. Let's bring that down just a smidge. You know what this thing needs? It needs some power, and it needs some reaction control wheels. Those are too big. And we're gonna ×2 these things. Where's our center of mass? Yeah, about where I was gonna put them. Okay. We're gonna put you right there. That should help this thing rotation-wise. I don't even think we're gonna need, I remember that dad joke. Yeah, it's a good dad joke. How much power do those things take? Just to be on the safe side. Efficient torque, they 0.3 electric charge a second. So if we put, that's battery bank. I know we just bought some new generators. There we go. Fuel cell right there. And that produces 18 electric charge a second. I don't know. Are we gonna need that much? We might be able to get away with just this guy. Put like 2 of those on there. Especially if these only take like 0.3. We don't need a whole lot of... This thing's double striking. Alright. Fuel storage 1. Into our action groups, we want our lights to be these here. Okay. Start and stop fuel cell. Toggle fuel cell. There we go. Alright, let's light this candle. Oh, wait, got one more thing to do. We want to enable port staging here. This needs to come down here. This needs to come down. It took it away. This needs to come down here. Oh, we've got that. Okay. So we'll kick that off, then we'll kick that off. We're all done with our stages. We don't have anything else to worry about. Sweet. Okay. Very, very simple, basic rocket. Not a whole lot to it. It's a storage tank, right? How difficult is a storage tank? It's... Yes, this is headed for the space station, yes. This is going to be one of the storage tanks that we're putting up there so that we can collect all the fuel and all the debris floating around Kerbin so that we can bring it back, fill these tanks up, and then destroy the debris. Because I hate destroying debris when they have fuel on it, even though it makes for a more spectacular explosion in space, but we don't get to see those explosions anyway, so why bother? No, because I had been mentioning before you had joined up that we've got our mover up there. So this is all we need to do is get this close to the station, and then uh, we have our mover that will attach to it and put it in place. Assuming we didn't just crash Kerbal, because I'm getting no motion down here of loading, and we're still on our black screen, and I've been hearing a lot of double strikes when I click the mouse. So I'm wondering if Kerbal is going to crash on me because Windows. Come on, you can do it. Come on. What the heck was that? That was a new sound. I've never heard that sound before. I have no idea. I don't know if you guys heard that sound, but that was... That's not one of my Windows sounds. I don't know what that was. Alright. Oh, I know exactly why. How do I turn those on in this view? Alright, well I know I've got to get up to 150. At minimum 150. Oh, that's altitude adjustment. That's not what I want. I want ascent guidance. There we go. Don't want 900. I want 150. 155. Turn to 0 degrees. Oh, Weasel, I haven't heard that program for a long time. Take me to the Weasels! this may end up being my first, yeah. Yeah, no, a buddy of mine that I worked with way back in Mosey used to use Weasel all the time. He called it exactly the same thing, Weasel. WSL, Weasel. Alright, as soon as we get up to... Well, we'll kick that off when we get into orbit and go to make our maneuver to do our circularization burn. That way we can kick it off to just float away. We've got a lot of these nose codes floating around up here. I should stop putting them on, but I mean, it makes it more aerodynamic this way. Use less drag. Alright, engage lights. That turns our power on. Gives us lots of electric charge. Our RCS is whipping us around. I think we need 2 more of those. Give us a little bit more rotational speed on this. Little sluggish. I've got to remember how I enable what we want to see here. Maybe we can just pinpoint it. No, I know it's there. Yeah, it's already maxed out there. Alright, so we're gonna let this thing harvest for just a minute. Let's go to Space Center. We've got to go enable some crafts because I've turned some crafts off now. I can't see it. We need to be able to see it so we can target it, so we can rendezvous with it, so that we can complete our mission. Otherwise, it's no good. We got these 3 ships here. Okay. So we want Science Rover. No, not Science Rover. We want Space Lab. Which is right there. Okay. Research probe. Research probe. What are the 2 research probes? I forgot what the research probes were. Oh, yeah. I don't know how he works. I can't, yeah, we need to blow him up. Wish there was like a self-destruct button right here so we could watch it explode. The runt. Yeah, that's what both those research probes are. They're the same robotic mess. Okay. Right here. Set as target. Set as target. And we want to rot das bus. Turn you off. And giddy up. This thing is not going to rotate very quickly, which is going to be a problem when we get ready to do some maneuvers. I don't know, did that increase or slow our rotation? I can't tell. I've got a feeling that it slowed our rotation. I need about 4 more of these. Put one here, put one here, one there, one there. Then we might have enough rotational speed. Yeah, see how long it's taken? I think we might... We might have to reverse this and put a few more of those. You know, I think that's what I'm... I think I'm going to revert flight. I can't revert flight because I'm an idiot. Okay, we're going to continue this flight because I've already switched off of it, so we don't have anything to go back to. The next one will put more reaction control wheels on it. God, it's only 8 o'clock and I'm yawning already. What's wrong with me? We still got plenty of power, yeah. It's slowly burning fuel, not a whole lot. It's burning fuel at such a slow rate. May not be burning it at all because we're just kind of idling now. We're not. It's still got to do keep alive memory, but. And that's going to happen in 20 minutes. That should be our intercept there, yeah. So, let's see. Yeah, because there's our intercept, so the other one should be our braking maneuver. 90.8 meters a second, yeah. So that's going to be our braking maneuver. Well, good, because it's going to take us, 22 hours to rotate this thing around anyway. I mean, it's moving okay. It's for a vessel that's 41 tons, it's moving very well. I'll say that. Its maneuvering capabilities are unmatched. Thing is how there's nothing else up here to match it with. Almost there. Stay on target. Stay on target. Right there. In fact, we might even be able to see said target. No, it's still a little high. We might be able to see it now. Yep, there it goes. Now it's popping into view. Yeah, ready for the braking thrusters. There's something. I haven't had this kind of lag for a long time. That thing's not going to get in position in 13 seconds. That's okay, though. We're still drifting towards it. We've got plenty of room. It's when it comes to stop that it's going to be a problem. Maybe I should have put some RCS on here just to slow it down. Just put like one little RCS tank on it. Because we're not going to be able to... Well, we might be able to flip it around in time for braking. Well, I'll have to see. Yeah, okay. We'll be just close enough for braking. I let it swing around there for a bit. See, and there's our mover right there. That's what we're going to use to relocate this tank to one of these notes here. I think we'll continue to go up. I think these will spire up because we've got this living habitat that comes down. I think we'll put the fuel tanks coming up this way just to kind of balance it out. got our first little bit of fuel here, so we're gonna go here. We're gonna go here. We're gonna go in. Pump it all in. Almost fills that whole tank up, doesn't it? Swing this around this way. And undock. Whoosh. Undock. Control from here. Set as target. Turn you off. Good thing we got lots of RCS. Is that engine even active? No, it's inactive. Alright, we can go a little faster than this. To force zero roll so that we're lined up with that docking port. Coming around again. I know nothing stays the same, but if you're willing to play the game. I can't use that because that doesn't have any control on it. This bad boy. That's going to slowly die because it doesn't have any electrical charge now because we've removed all the fuel off of it. Those battery packs are just going to eventually burn out. This is 27 tons. Connect up to this and we've got 52. Because it's got fuel in it, doesn't it? Almost half a tank. 3/4 of a tank, really. Alright, control from here. Set as target. Am I moving towards it? I can't tell. Numbers are moving, but yeah, I'm moving towards it. Hope I haven't exceeded the weight limit of this thing. Backing up at, moving into correct position at -1 meter a second to get on the correct target side. Good thing we got a crap ton of monopropellant on this thing. Rotating around to the 0 position to get on the correct side. Now it's backing up again. We're moving further away from us. This is starting to come back into line, so we're moving towards it. That number is getting, well, it's getting larger, but it's also getting smaller because we're moving towards it, but we're moving up and away, but we're moving towards it at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Toward the starting point at 0, 0. This number is getting bigger. Like how far away we're getting. we're gonna have enough monopropellant to bring this thing back. Well, you don't know if I hear a metallic crunch. What does that mean? Start slowing this thing down. Alright, now that we're moving towards it. Had to do some manual changes here. Oh yeah, the vehicle being too heavy. Yeah, I think we've exceeded the weight limit of our little mover here because it's struggling with this tank. Just a smidge. I got this guy right over here, and then we'll be in perfect alignment with it. We need bigger RCS. We should build a new one of these. So it's got a little more oomph behind it. This is better. Docking access. We're still getting off. That needs to... may have a botched mission here, guys. Maybe not. Starting to slow down. Starting to slow down. That one now? It's not slowing down. Moving too fast. We don't have the push to stop it. Uh-oh. Don't hit the solar array. I think we've exceeded the weight capacity of this little guy. I think we need a bigger pusher. Maybe it might come back. I don't like how quickly that thing's moving here though. That's moving way fast. Yeah, I don't think we've got the maneuverability here. This thing's just burning RCS like mad. Yeah, I agree. I definitely think we need a bigger boat. With how fast that target's moving, we're sorry, we're that close to it. Oh, we're further away than we're just burning. We're just burning RCS now. Alright, we're calling it quits. Alright, disconnect. This is definitely not... collect that with something else. I think we need a bigger pusher. We don't have much monopropellant left, I hope. That is drifting away. More garbage for us to collect. What is this thing doing? I hear a lot of engine stuff going on, but it's not doing a whole lot. Alright, that thing's coming in. Okay, sorry. Had someone send me a text message. Okay. Well, we pretty much drained our entire model propellant here, so yeah, let's push them out, shove them out, way out. We're gonna dump our entire filled RCS here, aren't we? What did we have in these? Are these literally just empty? Why did I do that? I forgot why I did this. I seriously forgot while I did that. And I canceled my transfer on the fuel, didn't I? Yes, I did. I did. It's... Oh, okay, that one's empty. I'm like, why did it stop? I have a guy who's interested in buying one of my cell phones off me. I've got like a ton of old cell phones. Is that the stock SF? Yeah, that's the stock sound effects. Sorry, I have been fielding a question here. Someone's texting me on some cell phones that I'm selling, and I was distracted like that, which I probably shouldn't be focused on while I'm streaming. But it's a old Galaxy S7 that was damaged in a horrible, angry 9-year-old accident, and I'm trying to sell the internals because the internals are still good. It's just the screen and stuff that's cracked and damaged. So, yeah. Okay, sorry. Are you still there? Okay, back to the Space Center. We got to build a new relocator because the one we have, while it's good, don't get me wrong, it's a great little vessel. It just gets a little unbalanced with the heavy loads on it. So we need to fix that. Alright, so we want to load open, open, open. Am I that boring? Am I just boring you that much? Okay, so let's go back to Little Pusher here. They like always. Yeah, well, you know, that is that Little Pusher? I don't remember Little Pusher being like that. Or maybe I had it dual purpose at this point. I don't think we need this though. I don't think we need that at all. Do I have another little pusher here that I... Potato gun, power unit repair. That's an untitled spacecraft. Who's that? Oh, that guy! Oh yeah, okay. Alright. And we need a little pusher. Little pusher! Yeah, I've got a couple of machines I've got to get some Linux stuff on. I've also been trying to build a router with a lot of the hardware I have laying around here too. I've just, you know, honestly, I've just been lazy. I just look at it and it's like I really don't want to do it. It's stuff that I enjoy doing, but I'm just... Okay. We know these little fellas aren't making the grade, so we're gonna toss them out of here. But I think we've got the perfect ones for it. Check these bad boys out. Huh? Huh? Yeah. They burn a crap ton more monopropellant. But look at that, 65 kilonewtons of thrust. Yeah. Them some hefty boys right there, huh? What about these guys? They're 16. These are a little more efficient. That's 165 kilonewtons. That's a lot. That's a lot of thrust. I think we only need about 4 of these things. Where's our RCS builder? I think I need to get rid of... Let's get rid of him. Put these right about here. Just to offset any additional weight. Put them right here so they don't interfere with the solar cells. There. Hi, that'll give you a thrust. Now, is my staging all jacked up? I don't think we want these engines in the sequence. I think we want these up here. Because we don't want to be burning RCS when we've got this motor here. So, put an aerodynamic nose cone on this thing here. I guess the other option would be just go with a fairing. What's cheaper, the aerodynamic nose cone or the fairing? That's 320. That's 450. 900 for the fairing. 600. 300. Plus whatever the fairing cost is. Yeah, I think nose cones are cheaper. It's one of the other reasons why I use them. I think I've been through that before. I discovered the nose cones are just generally cheaper. Plus, they're way lighter. We're like 0.2 tons. You get a fairing on this thing, you can balloon it up to insanely high amounts. So, should be any more than that. Okay. That should be the last text. It should be. Should be. It won't be. I mean, do we really think this is gonna... This doesn't have any fuel in it, right? Okay, so yeah, we transfer fuel up in there. Why don't you put one of those little itty bitty in space rockets on the bottom? Give it a swift kick in the pants and use the RCS for guidance. Are you saying like an orbital engine? Because that's essentially what it has. But when you're trying to dock, it generally doesn't use the motor, the big thrusters, because it's just too much. But these things here, these have some kick. Yeah, this will get a boogieing. So, in fact, I might even be able to do away with that motor altogether and just stack it with RCS. Let's see how this performs. We'll go from there. All right, we're away. I just love how smooth Frank is on the lifter body. He really is fantastic. I'm just wondering if it's going to save some weight if I swap these things out with some SRBs. I'd get about the same burn time, I think, but I like having this fuel feed into that center tank to give it just that little extra, you know, over the hump style of performance. Come on, smash together! Smash together, we want the explosion! They're not gonna smash together. Oh, wait. Nah, they didn't do it. They missed. I is sad. See that little boost at the end and how that went flying off? Oh, I was still in the atmosphere too. I wasn't even in space yet. So yeah, that's some aerodynamic drag on that thing too. Good, 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 good. It will fall into the ocean, and we will not have to worry about it. Most of those do with the arc angle, because I'm still not completely circularized with it. So by the time it circularizes, a lot of these things have fallen into the... There's a lot of nose cones in that water. I have to come up here with a couple of refuelers and refuel some of this stuff. Oh, oh no, 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 no. Because I don't have fuel in this yet. That would have been bad. Oh, that would have been terrible because that thing was, it would have kicked it off. And oh, yeah, 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 yeah. No, that definitely would have been bad if I had forgotten to do that. Such a doofus. Okay. Is this gonna auto warp? No. Let's go here. Of course, it's almost at the altitude now, so that's might end up burning that tank out. Pretty close. I think it's gonna kick off with like maybe 200 meters a second left in it. You see, I got a lot of these tanks up here like that have just little spits of fuel left in them, and I want to collect those and get as much fuel out of them as I can. Are we circularized? I guess so. Staging. Alright, control from here. And we need to set at... That's the runt. We don't want the runt. That's fuel storage. We don't want fuel storage. But I guess fuel storage is what we're going to get, isn't it? Alright. Well, I guess fuel storage will get us close enough. And I clicked out of the window. Maneuver on Dasafos. Let's turn that off. We should have enough rotational ability that we don't need it. Do we activate that engine? I don't know if I ever activated that engine or not. I wonder what that is. Is that my target? I think that's my target. We're just trying to, yeah, we're trying to catch up to it. I think that's probably going to be our target. We still got tons of electric charge. We're okay. Yeah, see, this thing maneuvers fine on its own, but you get a heavy load on it, and it just no turning. It's got no turning back. All right, I don't think that's our target because. That's the space lab. That's what we're shooting for right there. So this is a heavier pusher to try and get the fuel tank that we need in place for the space station. So, which was a total botched mission before because we didn't have the thrust. But now that we have the thrust, so we're only going to be 2 kilometers away from that. We might be able to rendezvous with that here. You know what, we're going to disengage this for a minute because it's going to sit there and go wibbly wobbly timey wimey thing for a while. That might be just close enough to rendezvous with it. We'll see if it spawns in. I think they usually appear at 2200 or at 2.2 kilometers. Okay, we know that those tanks are empty, right? Fairly certain. I think that's going to pop in. Either that or the whole game just crashed. One of the two. See how that just popped in? That's what I'm talking about, right? So now, if we come out this way, we swing ourselves around, and we do the hokey pokey. Let's see if we can burn towards that. Never thrust towards your target when you're trying to rendezvous, because you'll always miss it. So what do? I thrust towards my target. Stay on target. Okay, we're getting a little closer with arid extra dry. Oh, that's Nimbus. That's what that is. Bye-bye, fuel tank. We don't need you. Sad ass target. There we go. Now it knows what to do from here. We're close enough. Better know what to do. Otherwise, we're in a lot of trouble. A little bit of a inclination change there. Um, yeah, I mean it's all metric ton, right? So that it would be long tonnage, right? But then again, a lot of it depends on which space agency you're talking about. For some reason, NASA still does that, but a lot of the international space groups don't. So, yeah, there's a huge difference in who does what for how many jelly beans. Set as target. All right, control. Okay, it is already controlling from there. Let's go ahead and set you as the target. And we're gonna dock up to that. Okay. Where's that fuel tank? Maybe we should, Well, is that really the case, or is it just a simple fact that us people from the United States are really set in our ways and enjoy our imperial measurements? Because, I mean, really, when you think about it, the metric system is just a 10 base system, which is a lot easier to calculate when you're actually going uh, for three-dimensional, you know, calculations. So, because when you have X, Y, and Z up there, it's a lot easier to figure out your measurements in base 10 than it is in imperial fractions, right? I mean, I know that they did it all through the Apollo program and whatnot, but it's still it once you get out there, is it really gonna matter, right? Uh, but there's been spacecraft that have doomed themselves because someone got one measurement incorrectly, right? Or they put a sensor in upside down because they didn't fully understand how something needed to come together, and they're like, oh well, it fits this way. not realizing that, you know, there's a difference between a 10 millimeter and 11 millimeter, and you needed the 11 millimeter size to fit into it instead of the 10 millimeter size, and now you got the incorrect sensor installed. So, I mean, that's really what we're picking about here, right? That one's empty. We just need to spit into those. We've got a little bit of fuel left here. Let's transfer fuel from him to him. Not that we're going to be using that big. Well, actually, we will be using that big engine because we've got a rendezvous with this bad boy out here. Where's that fuel tank? That fuel tank's listed as debris, isn't it? And I'm not tracking debris. You know what that means. We got to go back to the tracking center and tag in all the debris. Well, most countries use a non-decimal money system. There's a lot of countries that don't deal in change. They just don't. Everything has to be rounded up to the nearest what their term would be dollars, right? Because coins are expensive to manufacture. They really are. We want. Let's make sure that's the right little pusher. I hope that's the right little pusher. I should have renamed it to decidedly better little pusher. This is probably the one that's stocked. That's okay. Just a quick tab, and I should be able to select the other one. Oh, it is the right one. Yay! All right. We are targeting this guy. Engine still active. I did not like how that node danced around. And why it took the long way. Let this thing catch up to us here because we've slowed down just a smidge. And now Without spawning in. Go to catch up to it. Fiddling small change. Yes, yes. That is a fantastic book. It really is a fantastic book. Now we're gonna hook up to this thing and then have to rendezvous back with the space station again. It's quite a ways out. Because it's way out here, you know? Come on, start doing your burn back. Oh, we still got to get within 75 meters of it. We're not quite there yet. I don't know why it does this back and forth so much. It's like walking it in or something. Now we get to see the real power of this thing. See if moving that mass around is going to be a little easier now. And this game proves Adam's theory of flight, throwing yourself at the ground and missing. Yes, no, and that's one of the great things about an orbit is you are literally constantly throwing yourself to the ground, but because you're moving so fast and in such a great arc, you just keep missing it, right? Can't remember who I was talking to the other day, but I was talking to a couple of kids that were talking uh, about how the planets move in the solar system and how they orbit around things. And I said, but it's more than just the orbit. They spiral. It's more of an actual spiral in space because we're all moving through it. once I started to give them a little demonstration as to how that works and how the planets spiral as they go through space, they're like, "Oh, that's interesting." So it's really fun talking orbital mechanics to young kids, especially when they're totally into it. See, those things aren't working nearly as hard as those others were. They've got that thing locked on. It's shimmering like that because we're off of our center of mass just a little bit. So that center of mass is wibbly wobbling around in there. Once we hook up to this, it's going to be a whole new story. Hey, we almost got another solar eclipse coming up. Look at that. I guess that would be a lunar eclipse because the moon's getting in the way. All right. Let's see how this thing maneuvers around now. A little sluggish. How about with RCS? Good enough. I think it's going to manage it better. Sad ass target. Should be close enough that it should just be a couple of easy correctional changes. Yeah, I think these RCSs are better suited. Are we moving towards it? Yeah, we are moving towards it. Three 5, 3 4, 3 3, 3 2, 3 1. It's starting to get ahead of us, so we're gonna have to make that correction. Catch up to it just a bit. When that node starts to run like that, that's an indication that you're not balanced. Which we kind of already knew. Get this thing going here. We're gonna have to slow this kid down. We'll see if we can bring this thing home. Mama, I'm coming home. This is a good old Ozzy Osbourne. That's classic Ozzy. Alright, let's try this docking port this time. See if it's gonna be as finicky. Shouldn't be because we've got more thrust this time. Everything should align up way better. Oh yeah. Look at how that slowed that thing right down. Yeah, this is a way better pusher for the weight. I have to relabel it Mead Pusher. In fact, I think we can rename it right now. Rename vessel. Medium Pusher. We're gonna make this probe is fine. We'll leave it a probe. That's kind of what it is anyway. Guess I could go with like a utility truck. Should start to see it here in a second. Wonder if the camera's sitting this way or if it's sitting the other way. We'll find out real quick. Yep, that's the way it's sitting. Oh, way better. See how it's slowing it down? That other one was just not able to slow it down. I think I'm gonna like this one a lot better. This is what we need to go get all those tanks. Is it though? We just need this as a pusher to relocate these large tanks. If we're gonna go harvest those tanks, what we need is something with the claw so that we can transfer the stuff. Alright. I'm gonna take you. We're gonna take you. And you're gonna go in and in. Drain that guy out. And we're gonna take this guy. I think you see where I'm going here, aren't you guys? And we're gonna dump this guy. Just send it off into space. Let it tumble away. And then we will blow it up! I don't know why I said that in such an angry voice, but... We'll take our remaining balance and we will put it into you. Wow, it's gonna be crazy if that's got the exact amount. And that tank is completely empty. Yep, okay. We're gonna disconnect you. Burn the rest of that RCS off. Just to push it as far away from the space station as possible. Getting it on a really almost a 2-degree inclination here. Alright, we're gonna retract you. We're gonna retract you. We're gonna put you, toggle torque off. We're gonna put you into hibernation. There's our toggle torque. Says we still got a little bit of monopropellant on here. That's right, everything's turned off here, so. Because it's not hibernating yet. Well, technically it is, but I'll turn McJeb off. And it's not burning any electric charge. Alright, that thing's just gonna live up here for a bit. Can we go back to the other ship? Nope, because it's too far away. Which is fine. If we go here... That pushed us down quite a bit, didn't it? I think we got a mission to... I think we got enough time to bring another tank up here. This tank's almost full. We need another one. Yeah! Let's go get another tank. Bring that up. What could possibly go wrong? I say that as if I know. Load. Fuel storage 1. It has no fuel storage. What motors does this thing have on it? Skipper! Those are 600. What's a skipper? Skipper is 650. 600. Guess we could just slap on a couple of mainsails. What happens if we do go with the mainsail? What does that take this thing up to? Ha, that's a lot of push. Yeah, let's try a couple of mainsails. I don't know why I changed the configuration of it. I'm just trying to use a little more fuel than what we originally were. I mean, that Fred's pretty efficient for what it puts up, so those mainsails will definitely make it so it can carry a much heavier payload. You know what? We're just going to launch this thing. See how that throttled back? Because we're starting to get into the I did that. See, max Q. Revert flight. Revert to launch. We definitely had a lot more oomph. Let's bring up the ascent guidance. See what it does better. 150. Could also be that I rotated a little too early too. They tell it to go 90 degrees, but I think my altitude was a little high. No, I rotated about the same time I did. I think it's that throttle down though that kills it. No longer has pitch control, but let's see what it does when it gets closer to max Q if the same thing happens. Max Q, so it's starting to throttle up. We're limited at 20 meters a second, 22 meters a second. It's getting some pretty good pitch on it. If I just kick that thing off now. What did it just do? Did this thing just stage here? That's gonna suck if that just staged here. Well, it can't because that's a... Something staged, I heard two. Whoops. That's right, I was going to put more of those on there too, which I didn't do. Oh, maybe it did kick that off because it was port staged. That's what the other Quotwang was. Yep, that's what it was. So that nose cone was just being held on by aerodynamic forces. Alrighty, well, I guess that's something. It's that thing's still got a lot of delta V. All right, let's go back a bit because I want to put some additional RCS on this, or not RCS, but control wheels. Well, I guess that's RCS, reaction control wheels. RCW, there we go. Reaction control wheels. Yes. Okay. We'll slap one on here. And we'll slap another one on here. That should give us a little more turnability. You know, don't we have some those are monopropellant only though. Thought we had some that ran off liquid fuel. I guess we got the Werner engine. Additive control transfer. These motors are linked to the RCS controls but are powered by a fuel oxidizer, making them significantly more powerful than the monopropellant. They're fairly bulky in comparison though. One nozzle facing outward, although to most degree it is an acceptable trade-off. What about this guy? That uses hydrazine. That's a monopropellant. Yeah, let's go with this and see how well it runs. Well, and that's what it did. Is it did stage the nose cone after it staged the boosters, the side boosters. Just because I guess it saw it as a non-critical stage, I guess. But I could just disable all staging. Disable auto staging, enable auto warp, engage the autopilot, and there's that. It's 10 o'clock, kids! Do you know where your parents are? I happen to know exactly where my parents are. See what happens if we just go full hog on this thing. Come on, smash into each other. Ah, you did. Oh, there they go! Yay! I love it when they explode. That's a happy explosion. No longer generating heat. Come on, flip over the top. There you go. Just enough aerodynamic drag. That does seem to be rotating slightly faster, doesn't it? Oh, you know what? I need to turn lights on. That should start to fall back down here. Look at all that debris. Little pusher. I can't believe that debris is way out there. I think that's got fuel on it too. What a kick in the pants. Vegas. What are you saying? We want me to play some New Vegas now? Is this gonna orbit around here sometime this month or what? There it goes. Oh, that was just a little spit. It didn't even heat up those engines enough to... Yeah, it is rotating faster. So, I don't know if it's drawing... It is drawing additional power. But we're maintaining it. Two hours and 15 minutes, 94.3 meters a second push. We're gonna have another full tank by the time we get there. Why can't you just die? I don't think we can see it yet, can we? there's something. Saw something fly by. I think we still have another quarter orbit. Yep, there we go. This will boost us up to our rendezvous. We weren't close to rendezvousing yet. And that's going to be our slowing burn there in 20 minutes. Oh, okay, that's what the biggest is. I get it. I get it now. I'm not sure if those things are making it move faster or not, but it I don't know. We'll see what happens. We should start going warp here in a second. I mean, we're close enough, right? Up there it goes. There's our target. Dink. Oh, rotate around. Do a burn towards it. Make up some ground. I really don't think the sun would look that big in space. I mean, that's looking pretty huge there. We're pretty far away from the sun. But I guess they needed it that big for the proper light levels. I don't know. Disengage this. Because it's just gonna sit there and flip back and forth now. 0.1 meter a second for the next, 250 rotations. Engage. 57 seconds. Boy, that's like in direct sunlight too. Looks like it's really high up here, but it's really not. Look how big that planet is. Oh, look at that shimmering. Those are some good shadows. That is a really, really good alignment. We're gonna let it fly. Ah, you know what I never did? And it's like a dance. Look at that. They're dancing. Control from here. Go. Go get it, little fella. Ah, I should have pushed back. The station's out of control. I've got the station. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. That just looked like it was going to smash into that, but it's a ways away. We're okay. Wonder if I could match the rotation and dock to that. Be an interesting test, you know? I mean, in theory, you should be able to get the same movement on something when you go to dock to it. It shouldn't matter whether it's spinning or not. Control from here. See if we can do it with it rotating. That's going to be interesting. Did it stop rotating? Or is it actually rotating with it? I think it may actually be trying to rotate with it. That's pretty cool. I watch it's gonna smash right into it. We are rotating. I think we're rotating in sequence with it. That's pretty cool. See, I'm not that skilled to do that manually. That is very, very difficult to do manually. This is why I like flying with a computer. Because it can do crazy stuff like this. Wonder if it's actually slowed down. Well, no, it says we're still spinning here. I think it did because I think the RC or the SAS kicked in and it stopped spinning. You know, I thought those things would be a little heavy on RCS, but they really haven't been. They haven't burned any more RCS than they normally would have with the smaller ones. These are way more efficient. We're moving this big, huge, heavy tank around with very little effort. Probably stack 2 more tanks up here. Look at that, just a little bit of boost and it's done. Awesome. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. And connect. Yeah, that did have SAS enabled, didn't it? Alright, so we gotta rotate this thing around. Oh, wrong rotation. You know what? Let's control from here. There we go. I just wanted to get those pointed more towards the sun. They have a little more solar exposure. Alright. Doesn't have any fuel in it. That has fuel in it. These things don't have anything in them. Don't know why I even brought these up. I don't know. I thought maybe at the time it looked cool. I don't know. Alright, guys. I think we're going to call it. We didn't do much cleanup, but we got set up for some cleanup. And next time, we're going to do some serious cleanup. In fact, why don't we take just a smidgen a bit of time. What do we got here, research-wise? Hardly. You guys have been doing nothing. This whole time been doing nothing. Let me give you a slight example as to what our pusher craft's going to look like. Got my bulldog here. She's causing problems. So here's basically what. What? I know. I said we were going to bed, didn't I? She loves going upstairs and laying on the big bed. So when I say we're going to bed, she gets overly excited and says, "You said the B word." So we're going to go up and I'm going to get uncomfortable and I'm going to start snoring my head off. Because that's what bulldogs do. So our pusher, just to give you guys an idea, gonna look something like this. That way we can grab onto things. Now, question is, see, I'm committed now. I'm fully committed to this now, because I am now building a stinking builder, or a stinking harvester here. In fact, that's what we're gonna call. We're gonna call it the harvester. What? I know. I know. I know. I better do something before my bulldog just goes completely bonkers here. We're gonna make all this auto strutted before. Which means we can come in here and we can put no, wrong one. I think it's gonna be this guy. No, wrong one. It's gonna be this guy. Because I think those are the biggest RCS fuel tanks, right? Can I take one of these and put monopropellant in it? I don't know. Liquid argon, ammonia, oxidizer, nitrogen, monopropellant. I can do monopropellant. But how stinking heavy is that? Whoa, it takes us from 3 tons to 20 tons? That is a heavy tank. Total mass, 16.5 tons. But now that I know I can do it, alright, then what we're going to do is we're going to take some regular fuel tanks that are about the same size. That's not the same size. I think we need to go with these guys here. No. Yeah. Which one's bigger? That's the same. What is the difference between these two tanks? That has monopropellant, oxidizer, and fuel. This just has oxidizer and fuel. Oh, that has monopropellant and, but it's smaller capacities. Because these are 750 each, right? I think I did the math on this before. So if we go with those, and then yeah, see, it says right there, monopropellant. I don't know what. That's 900. What's the weight of that tank? 4.4 tons. And that's 3.4 tons. That makes sense. We're 18 tons already. You got 18 tons. What do you get? That's 6. One more would be 8. That would stack them all like that. Do those have decoupler rings on them? No, they don't. You guys are probably wondering what I'm doing now, don't you? I have no idea, to be honest with you. Really have absolutely no idea. But we're gonna take all the fuel out of these. We're gonna have fuel here. We're gonna take some tanks here. We're gonna shrink you guys down. Which makes them kind of tiny. But it's still storage capacity, right? So basically we're bringing this kid up dry. And we need to put some aerodynamic nose conage on these things. That was a huge. That's way huge. There we go. That's too pointy. What do we have that's not as pointy? So that's an SRB snow cone, isn't it? Still too hard. Okay, pointy it is. They look like little pencils. Okay. I don't know why I get so excited about that stuff. I don't know. I'm weird, guys. I'm just weird. Ignore me. Alright. I think we need one more. Well, let's see what kind of engine we can smack onto this thing here. What do you burn? You burn methane. We don't want you. That's like hardly any Delta V at all. That's not gonna be enough. I need something with I guess we could surround it with some thuds, maybe. What does that one look like? It's a little better. It's hypergallic though. It's got some good push on it though. If we were running that center all the way down and have it all be monopropellant. I said I wasn't gonna do this. Actually, that's got a lot better delta V on it. That's 1327 there. That's 1076 and 1004. That's 350. That's 200. See, but this is also good in atmosphere too. I mean, that means it's a non-vacuum engine. What if we were to go with this guy? I think that's what we got. I don't remember which one's which now, because they both look the same. How do we get the same delta V out of that as we do? .78 a second. This is 220 ISP, 370 in vacuum, 220 ISP, 300. So it's the same stats. Do I just have that much monopropellant on here that it equals out to be the same, rather it's the liquid engine or the non-liquid engine? This one does have burn time on them is exactly the same. 2.25. That's weird. Let's take these guys off. Let's take you off. Let's get one more of these tanks here. That was the wrong one. Because that requires the fuel. How did I almost double? Oh, because we don't have this attached. So it's not carrying all that dead weight. But if we set this back up to where that's better. Still get pretty good thrust to weight ratio on that though. Where's my arm? Right there. that's high enough. Because that leaves these open for regular fuel. And you know, once we get into out of the Atmos, we could. What do we have the smaller than that? I thought we had a smaller decoupler than that. Ah, we do right there. We can do the same with these down here. Oh, other way. You know what we are going to need on this, though? We're going to need some way of controlling these kids. It's our center of mass. Right back to where we found them. Okay. So yeah, it's gonna look something like that. Pencils on both ends. Yeah, it's a double-sided pencil. You know, when you're in that critical test, you can just flip it over and have the eraser off to the side. That's, I mean, those you know, Scantron tests that you used to do back in the day. I did that. I would rip the eraser off one of my pencils and sharpen it on both ends. So if it got too dull, I could just flip it over, and yeah, I was a weird kid. So we don't want these. Don't want these on the main throttle. We want them independent. We'll have to mess with that. Because I am not 100% sure how those things are going to behave. I mean, I guess I could just put them on a different stage, right? Put them on a different stage, and then I don't have to worry about them. I don't have to worry about them using valuable resources for thrust, just RCS, right? see, now we got all of our delta V back. You know, one thing we should probably put on here. Separate this. So now we've got some turning ability, right? We've got to somehow figure out how to stack power onto this thing. Because we've got battery. Yeah. I really don't need anything bigger than that. And we can probably just toss those. See, it gave me 8 anyway. It won't let me just... Okay, I guess we'll just put one here. And we'll put the other one... kind of right there, I guess. Oh, that's one of the square ones. Okay, we're gonna toss you off. We're gonna go with you. Okay, that should be more than enough power for this thing. I have an idea. But it's gonna require some technique. You know what? Let's I'm trying to think about maybe putting a docking port on this. And I'm trying to figure out what's going to be the best way to do it. I was thinking about popping one of these off and putting... Because I've got some juniors up there. And I could take a docking port junior and put it on this, right? But I don't need 8 of them. I just need 1. I guess we could do it like that. I need to rotate this around like that. Because if I remember correctly where that port is sitting, we'd want the thing pointing so that it's facing downward. Alright, we'll see how that works. It's probably going to be an absolutely terrible idea, but... How heavy is this thing? 23 tons? Hey. Guess who that's a job for? Come on, Frank. Yeah, Frank pretty much will do 87% of all of my lifting. Just because Frank is awesome that way. That's too small. That's better. Yeah, Frank will do it easy. He's a good lifter, especially when I swap him out with those main cells on there. That gives him a lot of extra push. I should have a Frankie too, because I mean, as it sits, this thing here I think has a really good push capacity up to about, I think, 50 tons, and then I need something bigger, but. Terribly efficient. Alright. You know, I was going to end the stream, but now that I've got this built, I think we may as well go up and, you know, dock this thing and see if everything I've done is going to work. Then we'll start using it for some cleanup. That's because we got to test it. You know, it's if you don't test it, you just don't know, right? You can't get all crazy here. Well, those are in the wrong place. Those are in the wrong place. We need to create a new one. Ooh, that's definitely in the wrong place. We need to move you down here. Need to add you. Move you guys up here, then move you down here. Those could be in the same stage. Alright. No auto staging. I don't like auto staging. It causes too many problems. Here we go. Here goes nothing. Yeah, she'll be a little grumpy about it. She's over there laying by the doorway right now. howdy. Engines are just about spent, which is about right for us being almost 20 kilometers. Come on, smash! Smash! Well, they missed. They're not gonna smash together. I like it when they smash together. They get a good big exploded. It's gonna burn out here in 1 second. There she goes. This thing's got another 300 meters a second. Rotating rather well, actually. We haven't even kicked on the RCS yet, so. We're down to 55 tons. And done. Okay. Still have a little bit of fuel here, so let's go here. That's gonna be a lot of fuel. Now Lady Bird's pestering me, she's saying she's gotta go to. Look at the just because the mass is increasing, so it's dropping our delta V. That means it's gonna be almost non-existent when we get this thing fully loaded. That's not even fully loaded. Oh, maybe a monopropellant motor wasn't the right way to go. Do all of these have an equal quantity of fuel? Because if they do, that means that I didn't miss a tank. Awesome. Okay. So you are now empty. So we're going to stage. How much? I've burned 5 monopropellant. But now we should be able to target. Not runt. I gotta go fix runt too. My phone's down to 11% of a charge. And all in all, it seems to be very maneuverable. It doesn't seem like it's losing a lot. I mean, we've got power going down, but that's fine. We are in the dark right now, and I don't have any generators, and it charged right back up the second it hit sunlight. So we've got 1.3 rotations before our next burn. Just coming up here in 3 minutes. 3 minutes is come and gone. We're down to 10 seconds. I love when 3 minutes goes that quick. I mean, that's pushing pretty good. Not a bad little motor. I'm actually pretty impressed with that motor. Oh, it only had 2 electric charge on it. That'd be a good reason why it was completely drained, but should see it right there. There's our target. Stay on target. Has that thing really gotten that high in orbit? Because I seem to think that we started around 260 and it's now 296. Or maybe I had it at 300. Maybe it was 300. I can't remember. I'm old. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Actually, I'm pretty impressed with that little monopropellant only engine. I'm pretty happy with that little fella. It's not like it's burning exorbitant amounts of monopropellant either. It's fairly efficient. We're gonna disengage you. We're gonna creep up on it here. Stop! Stop, you idiot! It was coming up super fast and it wasn't slowing down. No, this is how this thing actually performs. I'm gonna be very happy with it. Set as the target. Set as target. Or control from here. And let's go docking. That maneuvers extremely well. I am very, very happy. And this thing here has as much fuel capacity as one of these, I think. So, well, I didn't count these smaller tanks here, but with the larger ones, you know what we could do? We could actually go and stage that now. Did I blow anything up? No. It was just a very violent, stupendous explosion. That was quite impressive, actually. Those things shot off like a banshee. And look, they're in such a perfect formation, too. That's going to be a lot of debris to blow up. I'm trying to clean stuff up, but I'm just making a bigger mess. You know what? I think I got the stocking port angled the right way. I really think I got it angled the right way, which is awesome because for where it's going to hook up, it's going to sit right where I want it to sit. Yeah, I should have angled it so it's sitting this way instead. No, that should be okay. Because if something comes and docks here, this is still angled out of the way. go ahead and shut this engine down. We need to shut that engine down so we don't have any crazy... Those are shut down. Those are shut down. Okay. See, this is a regular Clampatron. See, I knew I needed a junior for something. I knew I needed it for something. That still gives us plenty of room to put something here if we need to. Alright, so now we can go around the horn. And this already has fuel in it, right? We'll go around the horn again. What does that need fuel-wise? Ah, we'll put it here. There. All right. There's our cleanup crew right there, guys. We're at 3 hours and 11 minutes. I'm going to call it quits. It's bedtime. It's way past my bedtime. I'd like to thank everybody for joining. Do the subscribe, like, follow, whatever. Go to my YouTube channel. Like, follow, subscribe there as well. All the normal stuff. Click the buttons that make things clickety-clack. I will see everyone later.